You've been there. You invested your time, your money, your attention. You showed up consistently. You texted first. You planned the dates. You tried to be patient. And yet, something feels off. She replies, "But it's cold." She agrees to see you, but cancels last minute. She laughs, but it doesn't feel warm. So, you tell yourself, maybe she just needs more time. Listen to me carefully. You are not lacking effort. You are lacking the truth. Attraction is not created by persistence. It's exposed by it. And when a woman isn't interested, she usually knows it long before you do. The only question is whether you're willing to see it. In this video, I'm going to break down 7 things a woman will do when she's not into you. And if you recognize even 2 or 3 of them, you're not almost there. You're being kept. Today, I'm not here to comfort you. I'm here to protect your time. This isn't bitterness, it's clarity. And clarity is power. If you value direct truth over sweet illusions, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and stay with me. Because once you understand how women signal low interest, you'll stop chasing what was never yours to begin with. Let's start with number 1. Number 1, she stops respecting your time. Time is value, not money, not gifts, not effort. Time. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, she protects your time. She doesn't play with it. She doesn't treat it casually. She looks forward to seeing you. She locks in plans. And if something unavoidable happens, she reschedules immediately because she doesn't want to lose momentum with you. But when she's not interested, your time becomes flexible, disposable, replaceable. She shows up late and laughs it off. She cancels an hour before the date with a vague excuse. She says, "Let's reschedule," but never actually suggests another day. She takes 6 hours to reply to a simple message and then responds with one dry sentence, and you tell yourself she's busy. Listen carefully. People are never too busy for what they value. They are only too busy for what they are not afraid to lose. Attraction rearranges schedules. Low interest rearranges excuses. This is what I call priority psychology. We naturally prioritize what stimulates us emotionally. If she feels excitement toward you, she will carve space for you. If she doesn't, you will feel like you're squeezing yourself into the cracks of her life. Now, here's where most men betray themselves. Instead of observing the pattern, they compensate for it. They become more available, more patient, more accommodating. They say no worries. Every time she cancels, they wait for her to pick the next date. They respond instantly, even when she disappears for hours. You think you're showing maturity. What you're actually showing is that your time is cheap. And once a woman subconsciously registers that you will always wait, always adjust, always tolerate, she has no urgency to step up. Why would she? There is no cost to her behavior. Imagine this. You plan dinner for Friday. She agrees. Friday afternoon, she texts. Something came up. Can we do another time? You reply. Of course, no problem. Then you wait. Saturday passes, Sunday passes, she never brings it up again. That wasn't an accident. That was information. A woman who values you protects your time. A woman who doesn't test how long you'll wait. And every time you accept being placed last, you silently reduce your own value in her eyes. Attraction cannot grow in a space where respect is shrinking. If she treats your time like it's optional, she's already telling you that you are too. Number 2, her phone becomes more interesting than you. Attention is the purest currency of attraction. Not compliments, not promises, not words, attention. When a woman is genuinely drawn to you, she leans in. Her eyes stay on you. Her body turns toward you. The world around her fades because in that moment, You are the most stimulating thing in the room. But when she's not interested, something subtle happens. Her phone becomes more captivating than you. You're sitting across from her talking. She nods, but her eyes drop to her screen. A notification lights up and suddenly her energy shifts. She smiles at something on Instagram. She types quickly. She laughs softly. Then she looks up and says, "Sorry, what were you saying?" That's not random. Focus reveals desire. The human brain naturally locks onto the strongest dopamine source available. We give our full attention to what excites us. So if she can give uninterrupted focus to TikTok videos, group chats, or other men's messages, but can't give you 5 solid minutes without checking her screen, you are not the primary stimulus in her mind. You are background noise, and I need you to feel the weight of that. You are not competing with the phone. You are competing with whatever is on the other side of it. Conversations, validation, attention from other men, entertainment that stimulates her more than you do. And here's where men make a critical mistake. They pretend not to notice. They think calling it out makes them insecure. So, they sit there quietly, waiting for her to re-engage, hoping that eventually she'll put the phone down and choose to be present. But presence is not something you beg for. It's something that is naturally given when interest exists. If she valued the interaction, she would silence the phone, flip it face down, slide it into her purse. Not because you demanded it, but because she wouldn't want to dilute the moment. When a woman is into you, she protects the connection. When she's not, she multitasks you. If she can give Instagram her full attention, but not you, she's already emotionally elsewhere. And once you accept being second place to a glowing screen, you've unconsciously accepted being second place in her life. Number 3, she's too busy for basic effort. Busy is the most socially acceptable rejection in modern dating. It sounds polite, responsible, mature, but most of the time it's a shield. When a woman is truly interested in you, she doesn't suddenly become unemployed. She doesn't cancel her life. She simply makes room. She texts you during her lunch break. She calls you while driving home. She locks in plans a week ahead because she doesn't want to lose the opportunity to see you. Interest creates motivation. Motivation creates effort. When she's not interested, the smallest effort toward you feels like an inconvenience. You ask to meet for coffee. This week is crazy. You suggest dinner. I'm swamped. You try to call. Can we talk later? I'm exhausted. But somehow she has time for girls' nights, for brunch, for the gym, for scrolling Netflix until midnight, for posting stories, for replying in group chats. Notice the pattern. She's not too busy to live, she's too busy for you. And here's where men get trapped. You tell yourself it's just bad timing. You say maybe when work calms down. You convince yourself that once her schedule opens up, she'll show up differently. But timing is rarely the real issue. Priority is we don't find time. We allocate it. And we allocate it based on desire. If you're initiating 90% of the contact and she's responding with the bare minimum, that's not shyness. That's asymmetry. And asymmetry is one of the clearest indicators of low attraction. Let me be blunt. If she wanted to see you, she would. Not someday. Not after her busy season. Not when things are more convenient. Now. Because when attraction exists, it creates urgency. It creates a subtle fear of missing out. She doesn't want momentum to fade. When there's no urgency, there's no emotional investment. And the longer you wait for her schedule to magically clear, the longer you're investing in someone who has already decided you're optional. If she wanted to see you, she would. Not someday, not later, now. Number 4, Conversations feel like pulling teeth. Conversation is emotional energy in motion. When a woman is attracted to you, she wants to know you. Not just what you do, but how you think, what drives you, what makes you laugh. She asks follow-up questions. She remembers details. She circles back to things you mentioned days ago. The exchange flows because both people are invested. You don't have to force it. But when she's not interested, every interaction feels heavy. You ask a question. She gives a one-word answer. How was your day? Fine. What did you do this weekend? Nothing much. No curiosity, no expansion, no spark. You start carrying the entire conversation on your back. You ask more questions. You tell longer stories. You try to be funnier, more engaging, more impressive. You feel yourself performing just to keep the interaction alive, and slowly it becomes exhausting. Here's the psychological truth. Curiosity is one of the clearest indicators of attraction. When we are drawn to someone, our brain seeks more information about them. We lean in. We dig deeper. We want access. If she's not asking about you, not initiating conversations, not creating threads to continue talking, it's not because she's mysterious. It's because she's not emotionally invested. And most men internalize this the wrong way. You assume you're not interesting enough, not charismatic enough, not witty enough. So you double down. You send longer texts. You add more humor. You over-explain. But attraction is not negotiated through better dialogue techniques. It either exists or it doesn't. If you constantly feel like you're dragging the conversation forward while she's passively responding, that imbalance is the message. She's participating out of politeness, boredom, or mild validation, not desire. And I need you to hear this clearly. When you have to carry the entire conversation, you're carrying someone who doesn't want to be there. Real interest feels mutual. It feels light. It feels alive. If it feels like work, it's because you're the only one working. Number 5, she avoids being alone with you. Intimacy requires privacy, not physical intimacy. Emotional intimacy. The kind that builds tension. The kind that creates chemistry. The kind that makes two people feel something shift when it's just them in the room. When a woman is genuinely attracted to you, she wants one-on-one time. She wants your undivided attention. She wants the space where conversation deepens and energy can escalate naturally. But when she's not interested, she avoids that space. You suggest dinner, she invites her friends. You ask her to grab drinks. She says, let's make it a group thing. You notice that every time you're around her, there's always a buffer, a third person, a crowd, a social setting that keeps things safe and neutral. That's not coincidence. Group dynamics reduce sexual tension. They diffuse emotional intensity. They turn what could be a romantic interaction into something platonic. The group becomes a shield. And many men misread this completely. You tell yourself she's just social, just outgoing, just more comfortable around people. So you accept whatever access she gives you. You stand next to her at gatherings. You laugh at the same jokes. You feel lucky just to be included. But inclusion is not selection. Being physically near her does not mean you're progressing with her. If she consistently avoids being alone with you, she is protecting a boundary. Not because she's scared of you, but because she doesn't feel the desire to create something deeper. Attraction seeks privacy. Low interest seeks witnesses. And here's the painful truth. When you continue to orbit around her in group settings without ever creating one-on-one momentum, you're not building attraction, you're building familiarity. Comfort without desire leads to the friend zone. You become safe, predictable, non-threatening. You become the guy she's comfortable around, but not the man she craves. And comfort without attraction is the slow death of romantic potential. If she never wants to be alone with you, believe what her behavior is telling you. You are present, but you are not chosen. Number 6, her body language screams disinterest. Body language rarely lies. Words can be filtered. Smiles can be polite. Tone can be managed. But the body reacts before the mind edits. When a woman feels attraction, her body subtly moves toward you. She faces you fully. Her feet point in your direction. She maintains eye contact a little longer than necessary. She finds small, almost unconscious excuses to close the distance. She mirrors your gestures. She opens her posture. That's not strategy, that's instinct. Now look at the opposite. Her arms cross when you speak. She angles her torso away from you. Her feet point toward the exit. She leans back instead of in. When you step slightly closer, she shifts back just enough to re-establish space. Eye contact is brief, mechanical, surface level. These are not random movements. From an evolutionary perspective, attraction and aversion are processed quickly in the nervous system. The body signals safety, curiosity, and openness when desire exists. It signals protection and distance when it doesn't. And here's where many men make a dangerous mistake. You listen to her words instead of watching her body. She might be polite. She might smile. She might say, "You're so sweet." And you interpret that as potential. You convince yourself she's shy or cautious or playing hard to get. But politeness is not passion. Respectful behavior does not equal romantic interest. If her body consistently closes off around you, she is not building tension. She is maintaining boundaries. And I need you to understand something clearly. You are not the hero in a romantic movie who wins her over through persistence. When her body instinctively creates space, chasing harder doesn't look confident. It looks unaware, and awareness is attractive. Desperation is not. If her body is pulling away, her decision was made long ago. Your job is not to override her signals. Your job is to respect them and protect your dignity. Number 7, she flirts with others in front of you. This one hurts the most because it's public. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, her focus narrows. Even in a room full of people, her energy gravitates toward you. She laughs a little louder at your jokes. She stands closer to you. She checks in with her eyes. There's a subtle alignment that says, "You're the one I'm tuned into." But when she's not interested, that alignment disappears. You're standing right there, and she's laughing harder at another man's story. She touches his arm during conversation. She holds eye contact with him just a second longer than necessary. Her body language opens up in a way you haven't seen directed toward you. And you feel it, that tightness in your chest, that flicker of competitiveness. Now listen to me carefully. Attraction is not a sport. You don't win it by outplaying another man in real time. When she openly flirts with someone else in front of you, she is communicating something without having to say it directly. She does not see you in her romantic lane. If she did, her attention would instinctively protect that possibility. Instead, she feels no urgency to manage how it looks, no concern about how it affects you. That absence of consideration is information. And this is where many men walk straight into the trap. You think, "I just need to step up, be funnier, more dominant, more impressive." You try to compete, but the moment you feel like you're competing for her attention, you've already lost your position. Because when a woman truly values you, she doesn't make you feel replaceable. She doesn't create a public audition for your worth. Now, let's go one layer deeper. Sometimes she knows you like her. She feels your interest. And even though she doesn't reciprocate it romantically, she keeps you around. Why? Validation, attention, favors, emotional support without commitment. You become safe supply, the reliable admirer, the man who will show up regardless. So, she flirts freely elsewhere because she knows you're not going anywhere. That's the part that stings. You're not the choice. You're the option. And here is the wake up call. The moment you feel like you're competing for her attention, you've already lost her. Not because you're inferior, but because she was never trying to choose you in the first place. Here's the truth most men avoid. When a woman truly wants you, you don't have to decode her behavior. You don't have to analyze her response time. You don't have to wonder why she's so busy. You don't have to compete for her attention. Attraction is clear. It's natural. It moves toward you, not away from you. If you constantly feel confused, if you're replaying conversations in your head, if you're looking for hidden meaning in dry texts or mixed signals, pause. Confusion is not mystery. Confusion is misalignment. And the longer you stay in low interest situations, the more you slowly chip away at your own self respect. You start negotiating for crumbs. You start tolerating behavior you would have once rejected. You start proving instead of choosing. Walking away is not weakness. Walking away is power. It's the moment you decide your time, your attention, and your emotional energy are not up for casual consumption. It's the moment you stop trying to win someone who was never trying to choose you. And here's the shift I want you to make. You don't need to defeat another man. You don't need to convince a woman. You don't need to outwork low attraction. You need to protect your value. Because the sooner you remove yourself from someone who treats you as optional, the sooner you create space for someone who sees you as priority. If you've recognized 2 or 3 of these signs in your own life, I want you to be honest in the comments. Share it. Own it. That's how you level up. Share this with a man who needs clarity more than comfort. And subscribe if you're ready to stop chasing illusions and start recognizing reality. The right woman doesn't make you chase. She makes you chosen.